Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Dallas Stars franchise mode here in NHL 20. So in last episode we had free agency, which was pretty busy, and then we also started up the season simulation, and as you can see we have a 16-13 1-3 record, but as of lately we've been dropping the ball completely, so I am going to be making a few trades which might be a bit too early, but I would rather stop this losing streak because as you can see at the moment, we have not won a single game in this month, and we're like exactly halfway through it. We tied here against the Flyers, and then every other game was a loss, and they were all by big scores line: 5 goals, 7 goals, 6 goals, 8 goals, 5 goals, 4 goals, and 5 goals. So our defense is just all of a sudden like completely shot the bed, but we are still in technically the wild card spot with 33 points. However, I am going to be making some trades that I think will help us out defensively and also help out our chemistry a bit, even though apparently chemistry doesn't exactly help you out, but we still should have at least a good chemistry with our team. I think it's not the main concern, but anyways, let's make those trades now. So the first trade that we are going to be making is we're going to be getting rid of one of our prospects, and it is a low top 6 prospect. I don't really want to get rid of him necessarily, but we do have a lot of prospects. We did just acquire this low top 6 guy from the Rangers in last episode as well for Viborny. So I am going to be moving out this guy who we drafted. I think was it just this draft? Yeah, it was this like a couple episodes ago. Torsten Halverson. He's 18 years old. He does have some trade value, but he might not make it. And yeah, it gives anyways Toronto a chance to have a good prospect. So we're going to trade him to Toronto. And Toronto is going to be giving us a defenseman who is a veteran who's got a decent overall, and he actually meets our system. 81 overall, Adam Burt. He's got 1 year left at 4.055. And as you can see here, he's got some good defensive stats, and he also fits all defensive pairings, power play lines, and penalty kill lines. So this guy perfectly fits our team. And yeah, this guy will be a roster player for us on our top 6 pairing. So we are going to acquire him. And this trade should just go through right like that. I don't know if I could squeeze back a pick out of this because there's trade value, I think, more on our side. Let's see if I could squeeze in a pick. Probably not a good pick, but I could probably pick in a 6th rounder maybe, because I don't think they do a 5th. Let's see. Oh, they'll do it. 6th rounder is accepted. So welcome aboard to Adam Burt. So that's a good acquisition for the top 6 pairing, or anywhere actually. Even if we have injuries, we can move them up in. There'll be no problems probably. The next trade we're going to be making is kind of an interesting one. It's going to be with Russia. So I think that's another divisional opponent. As you can see, Russia's not off to the greatest start, 10, 14, 5, and 2. And yeah, they don't have this guy on the trade block. However, I think it makes sense to trade for him because of their defensive situation. Because as you can see at the moment, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, Gudiniak we just had, and Soleil, though, they are using as a depth defender as an 82, which is pretty ridiculous to use an 82 as a depth defender. So we are going to be trading for Ruslan Soleil because it makes more sense to have somebody like Pedersen or Brown as their depth guy. They just have way too many defensemen, so we're going to bring in Ruslan Soleil. However, we are going to be giving them a defenseman, which is Scott Lachance. Now, as you can see, Scott Lachance was starting okay this season, but he's all of a sudden a -10, so he's been on the ice a lot, which was on the penalty kill, I think, mostly. So we're going to be trading him as the main piece back in this deal. And as well, we are going to be throwing in a 3rd round pick from the New York Rangers and seeing if that works. Hopefully it does, because we did just acquire this pick in last episode as well. That was also part of the Viborny deal, I think. So we'll add the New York Rangers 3rd, see if that one goes through, and that is rejected. What if we throw in Toronto 6 that we just acquired? Will that help sweeten the pot a bit? And that's still rejected. Okay, we might have to give up a 2nd round pick here. Or, no, our 3rd. I could give up 2/3. Or I could just give up a 2nd. I want to keep maybe both 3rds, so let's give up our 2nd. And that maybe will go through. Still rejected, jeez. Okay, so we'll do a 2nd then, and we will throw in a 4th rounder. It's a lot to give up for Ruslan Soleil, but Ruslan Soleil is 82 overall. He fits on our top 4. He's good defensively, and he fits all of our units as well. So We're going to bring him in no matter what happens, and that's still rejected. Jeez. Okay, we might have to throw in one of our thirds here as well. New York Rangers third and our second. There we go, that is accepted. So that was a lot to give up for a guy like Ruslan Soleil, but I think that will help us out a bit. And yeah, we do have invalid lines currently, so let's go to edit lines. I don't know if there's other trades I was going to make. I think there was some in case, but I don't know for sure if I'm going to make them or not. We'll see if we can. Let's just put in our defensemen where we want them. So Galanov is going to go out, though, for not Ruslan Soleil. It's Adam Bird that's going to go in there. And then Ruslan Soleil is going to go in... Wait, let's see. No, that doesn't work. That works, but let's see. We'll put in Soleil here for the time being. We do have a lot of defensemen, so some of those guys we could trade at the deadline. And, okay, that makes +1. Ooh, I like that Hatcher and Soleil pairing. And then Nakar and Lindback is okay, but Taze and Bird don't work well. So then in that sense, we would have to, or unless we change his player type, we could put in Henton in. No, that doesn't do anything. Okay, so yeah, I might change Taze's player type or Bird's, but actually they're both kind of more defensively minded. Oh, that one works. Putting Nakar with Bird and then Taze could stay with Lindback. Yeah, okay, I like that. So let's just leave that for now. We will make those adjustments afterwards, but we are probably going to be making one more trade. And the reason being is Sergei Brylin seems to be really bad defensively in terms of the penalty kill, and we want a better penalty killer. He's not that bad of a player overall-wise, and he doesn't, like, he puts up a decent amount of points, but he's just -10 is not that good. I don't know if it's the defense that was doing that or what, but we are going to be flipping him, or trying to flip him at least, to the Ottawa Senators is what we were looking at. Like, we could do either this trade with the Ottawa Senators, or we could do another trade which would move Jan Hrdina instead. So with the left wingers, we were looking at maybe trading for somebody like Bill Lindsay. He's not on the trading block, but he is a better penalty killer probably for us. Like, he actually fits our penalty killing system and our bottom 6 lines, which Brylin technically doesn't fit our penalty kill lines. So he wouldn't be a bad guy to bring in, but I don't know if I want to do that one. The other one I was looking at is Hrdina, though, trading him because he was also on the penalty kill. Because we could technically play Brylin as center. So we would be trading Hrdina to New Jersey, and the guy I was looking at actually has not a lot of trade value, but it's kind of a one-sided deal to an extent, because they do have... Where is he? Was he on New Jersey? Oh, no, wait. Was he on Washington? I wrote down his thing. I just can't read my own writing for some reason. Yeah, he was Washington. So Takashi. So basically, my thought process behind this is, as you can see at the moment, Bowman's going to be a better player than Takashi is. Takashi's going to be more used as like a third or fourth liner. And then Pedersen's medium elite, so he's not going to be better than this guy. And Perfetti's probably going to be always on the top 6. So I think this Takashi guy doesn't really have a spot on this team. He is one of their best point men this year, and he is growing really well for a 21-year-old, but I doubt we could trade this 1-for-1. So let's see if this could actually go through. Hrdina for Takashi, would that go through? And that's rejected. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to make any of these other trades. We might just see how the defense sim, and then we might make more trades at the deadline. I think that's how I'm going to do it. Yeah, I think that's how I'm going to do it, because I don't really want to add anything else to this deal. Well, I could add some... We only have... Yeah, I don't have our second. We have a third still. Yeah, I would be able to add next year's second, but I don't really want to do that. We do also have the Rangers 4th for next year, but... Yeah, I guess we won't make this trade just yet. We might do that at the deadline, depending on how Washington's simulating. I don't know if they would want to give him up, because they are listed as a rebuilder. So yeah, anyways, let's see how those defensemen sim. Let's just make sure our lines are set, though, because I want to be putting them in the right spots. So our forward core looks pretty good. We do have an injury currently to Clancy, who is one of our better prospects. Vorobiev just came into the lineup for an injury as well. Adam Bird on the power play. I'm not against it. It's not bad negative, so we'll leave that for now. 4-on-4. How about penalty kill? How's the penalty kill looking now? So Lundell and Howes is fine, Nikar and Hatcher, Herdina and Breland, and then now it's Burt and Lindback. I could put Ruslan Soleil there instead of Lindback, because Lindback's an offensive defenseman. So yeah, we will see if Soleil fits there better. And he does. Okay, that's great. Yeah, Soleil might have been a great acquisition for this team, and then we'll move Nikar up and put in Soleil right here. Okay, yeah, that's not too bad. It still probably won't simulate the greatest, but I think the addition of Soleil and Burt should help us out a bit defensively. Okay, so let's see if we can finally win a game after making all those trades. This team has been dropping the ball as of lately. I don't know if it's the goaltending or what, because the goaltending has been really bad this season as well. Like, we're one of the worst in goals against. So let's see if we could win some games down this last month of December, last little bit of December. We did upgrade our owner goals, which is good, and we win our first game with those trades 5-2 over Toronto. So that's a good sign when you win the first game after you make some trades. But then we lose another game. I mean, at least it's still early in the season, but damn, Thomas Lindback's been injured. That's not good because that's an offensive defenseman that we kind of need on the power play. So we're going to have to replace him with one of our defensemen, which I think is going to be Hentonen. Yeah, because I don't really like Galanov. Like, Galanov, we signed him, but Galanov is just... He's dropped the ball a lot. Like, he was a minus, bad minus. And in the shootout, we'll put in... Is Drake in the shootout? No, he's not. So we'll put in Drake, even though Drake's a passer more. We'll put him in just because he is a good young guy. Like, literally, this guy has, like, only 22... Yeah, he has no goals in 36 games, but he's got 25 assists, so he's just a pure playmaker. We beat the Jets 6-3, that's great. Game against Germany is a 3-3 tie, so I'll take at least a point. Yeah, this team is starting to win games now. I don't know if we would have won games if I didn't make trades, but at least we made some little deals to help strengthen us up a bit for the playoffs. And Clancy has returned, which now puts us at over 23 skaters, which means we're going to have to send somebody down. I don't know if I want to get rid of Wells down there. Wells does go through waivers, jeez. I didn't realize that. Okay, so I might have to send down... Yeah, I'm going to put Clancy down to the minors. Because we're seeming fine without him. And then if he, because he'll tear up the AHL. He had 7 points in the NHL and he was a -7. So I think I'm going to send him down and give him a shot down there in Texas. Oh, yeah, he'll go back to the CHL, actually, never mind. But, yeah, we'll send him back to junior. You guys might be like, why do that? But I think it's a better move because I do not want to lose balls to waivers because he might get lost. Same with Martins and these type of guys. Like, I could send down Vorobiev, but at the same time, Vorobiev's a solid depth guy. So I think I'm just going to, let Clancy have some time back in junior, see if he produces. And, yeah, it just sucks that we used him for over 7 games or whatever the limit is. So Hentonen is going to come out. And we are going to put in Lindback again, which is good because that's going to help out our power play lines. Because Lindback is very good offensively. So yeah, we're not going to make any trades until the deadline again, unless one big one comes up. Just because I want this team to simulate as well as possible first before we actually start to make some deals. And there's a 4-2 win over Detroit. So we're 21-15, 2-3. So I think those deals did help out. Let me take a quick look at how those defensive pairings have been doing since the new additions. This time I'm curious on how they've been doing. Hopefully this team could have a better simulation than they've had in previous years, because the last few years we've just barely squeaked in. So Adam Burt so far with us is a +4, and he's got 2 goals in 8 games. I like that he's been good defensively. That's mainly why I brought him in. And then Ruslan Soleil has got 8 points in 8 games. Well, and he's a +11. Yeah, Russia wasn't utilizing him at all this year. Like, literally, they were using him as a depth guy, and we bring him in, and he's point per game, and he's a +11. Ruslan Soleil was a great acquisition, and he's on the penalty kill as well, same with Burt. So those guys have been definitely helping out the penalty kill, I think. So we might have made the best moves possible for our team already. I don't know if Breland's +- has gone up at all or not, because he was -10, so we got to remember when we check player stats next, if he's like a +13 or something, we know that the defenseman helped out. Because, like, Ruslan Saleh is a brick, and I would like to win Ruslan Saleh a cup because, like, in real life, he obviously went to the 2003 Stanley Cup Finals, and he had a big game winner in that Stanley Cup Finals, but he never won a Stanley Cup before he passed away in 2011, so it'd be nice to win him one. Jan Hrdina has been injured. That's one of our penalty killers. So we're going to replace him with Martinson, I guess, if Martinson's a good fit right there, which I hope he is. Yeah, he is. Perfect. Okay, that's good. We're having guys that actually could fit like the replacement roles, which is what we need technically to keep this team good in chemistry or solid in chemistry. We don't need it like all +5s because +5s that would just like make the team seem like way too good. But to have at least +1, +3, I think that's pretty solid. Okay, so we lost to the Jets, but we bounced back with a win against the Kings. Game against Buffalo. We still have a lot of the season to go because we didn't simulate that much in the last one. Ruslan Kolosov is on waivers. Who is this dude? 73 overall. No, thank you. 24 years old. That guy's a bit of a project. I don't need him. But yeah, this team has definitely taken off since those trades. And Vorobyev has been injured with a bruised hand. So who is that going to put us into the lineup? Because I don't know if we have any other depth guys for forwards. Oh, Hrdina's almost back. Do I put in Hrdina there? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to just put in Hrdina there for now. Because I do not want, even if Hrdina is still kind of injured, I do not want to put in a defenseman as a forward because I know that is problematic. So we'll put Hrdina there. And we'll put him also on the 4-man PP for now on the defensive part. And then once Vorobyev comes back, we'll put in Vorobyev again in that spot. And then we will put Hrdina back to his center role where Martinson is. Just because I don't want to screw with the chemistry a bit of this team. Because putting defense as forwards, just I think it automatically puts at least a -2 on the line chemistry, which is not good. And Hrdina is back fully, which is good. So he's not going to get injured. And we just need to wait for Vorobyev, who shouldn't be back not too far away. Like, it's the All-Star break now. At least we're getting those ties with Hartford and Montreal, so we're still getting some points. But our division is very tight. Because we only have 5 more points than a team that's like near the bottom. So we gotta just keep on winning games. So we gotta take out Hrdina momentarily. And then put in Vorobyev. And then we're gonna take out Martinson, even though Martinson's young and good. And we're gonna put in Hrdina. There we go. Okay, so 25, 18, 5, and 3. We are only 5 points above that last spot. Let's just take a look at that standing part quickly. Trevor Wong's over point per game now. But yeah, this division is crazy tight, except for the Blackhawks. Like, the Eagles have 50 points in 49 games. Maple Leafs have 51. Blues have 53. We have 55. Red Wings have 55. So literally there's 5 points separating 6th and 2nd. Like, this division always is super tight in terms of simulating. So yeah, hopefully we can be one of those teams that do make it, though. Okay, so let's go right to the trade deadline and see if there's any big trades around the league. And I don't know if we're going to be making any trades. We might, depending on how we simulate. So Finland, I guess, is having a really bad year by comparison to last year. Because last year they won the Stanley Cup. They decided to trade Skula, who I think was a good prospect, and Haas for 2 seconds. Okay, so I don't know if they're going to rebuilding state or what. They must be just having a bad record. And Nabokov has been injured. Yikes, with a sprained thumb. So we're going to have to call up like Machovsky. So we're going to have to rely on Simic again, like what we did last season. That's one of our things. That's our problem, is our goaltending as well hasn't been the greatest in the last few years. So hopefully one of our goalie prospects could end up better than the Balakov, because you don't technically need an 89 overall goalie to win games in this type of GM mode. So Machovsky down, and Simic is the starter, I guess. And then we'll put Ezra Stafford in there, who was, he's killing it down there in the AHL for his first season. Jeez. And Ferguson is backup, I guess. Okay. Okay, come on, Simic. Are you the Sim God? So our first and a fifth for a third, and Oliver Turin. That's a really bad deal. No, thank you. I don't get why that offer was even thrown at me. And now Stanislav Nakar has separated his shoulder. Of course, we're getting injuries right in this big month. Okay, let's go replace player. I think that's going to put in... Actually, I don't want to put in Galanov. I want to put in Hentonen over him. So we're We're just going to put in Hentonen. Just because Galanov, he's more going to be a depth guy. We might trade him if need be. And yeah, let's just switch up the lines a bit. And that's not bad, but I don't want to move Soleil down. He's been really good. So yeah, let's move Lindback down to the top 6, even though Lindback's good. He's got power play time, so he should be okay. Just for the momentarily while this injury happens. And there's another trade of first in Tootin, head to LA for some Kennedy guy, a third in Collins. Okay, LA must be in rebuilding territory as well. A first and a sixth for Lind and Racine. No thank you. Juha Lind actually played for Dallas in real life, but he's not that good. I think it's Juha Lind. That probably is. A second and a fourth, or a third, Mebus in a fourth. That's not a bad offer because that prospect probably has potential. However, he's probably already like 26, so I'm not going to do that. And the Bakov is back, so we're going to have to send back down Biedrzyk Machowski. We did lose quite a bit of games during that injury problem. To Nabokov, there you go, Nabokov back in. And wait, actually Machowski will go through waivers, but I don't think he'll get claimed. If he gets claimed, I'm going to be pissed off, though, because he's a really good AHL goalie. So, Biedrzyk Machowski, go back down, please. Thank you. And I don't think he got claimed. Hopefully. Because if he got claimed, like, this AHL team's not going to assimilate as well, necessarily. Well, they could, probably, because they got some good overalls. But Ferguson out, and, yeah, Machowski didn't get claimed. But, yeah, Ezra Stafford, one of our fringe starter prospects, is just having a really good first year down there. Like, it could be the defense, because the defense is pretty stacked down there. Yeah, it's probably the defense. But Machowski was actually killing it when he played in the NHL with us. He had one loss, but he had a .935 save percentage, so he was playing pretty solid for a 70. Okay, so now that Nabokov is back, hopefully we can get back to winning some games, because we are we're 2-2 in the last 4, which is not bad, but we don't want to go in a losing streak like we did in December, because that would suck. So first, a second, head to Calgary for Kent Manderville. Yeah, it's Kent Manderville and Vandal East. Okay. So Detroit looks like they're stocking up for the playoffs. Seguin, Pan, and Chevrier head to Toronto for Owen Nolan. So Owen Nolan was only briefly in Toronto like he was in real life, and he heads to Russia. Okay. So Russia might be actually in a playoff spot. Probably due to their defensive core, though, because even with taking Ruslan Soleil, like, they have a really good defensive core. And Ezra Stafford's been injured in the minors, goddammit. That rookie was having a great year, and you had to get him injured. The simulation's kind of weird how there's always injuries right after each other, right in the same month a lot of the time. Our team is kind of dropping the ball a bit this month, which is not good in terms of how tighter. Oh man, we're out of the playoffs at this point because of our division. However, I might make some trades. I might still. I don't know who's minus. We'll have to check. But this team is dropping the ball like what they did in December, which is not good. Come on, boys. Oh my God, we got 2 more games before the deadline. And we're out of the playoffs currently at this point. We need to have a good month of March and all that. We are only 1 point back, though, I think. Let's take a look at the Pacific. Actually, yeah, we're literally, look how tight the Western Conference is. The last wildcard spot has 63 points. We have 61 points. The Eagles have less games played than us and 1 more point, which is not a good sign. Yeah, we might just barely miss the playoffs, but if we just barely make it again, then that'll be the 3rd straight season that we've had that problem. I don't like our division at all. It's way too tight. Okay, like if we had 61 points in any other division, like in the Eastern Conference, we'd be easily in that 4th spot in the Metro. And we'd easily be in the 4th spot in the Atlantic as well. Damn, this is annoying. Okay, so do we want to make any trades? Let's go to those right to the deadline, though. We only have 2 more games till the deadline, and then we'll decide if we want to make some trades here at the deadline. This episode might be long just because of the trading, so I apologize in advance. Stan Nakar is back, so that's actually huge. That actually might help us out. So Hentonen's going to come out, and in is going to go Stan Nakar, and then there you go. So maybe with Nakar back in the lineup, we'll win some games, as we were struggling without him. And do we beat Detroit? Yes, we do. 3-0. Nice defensive game. A second, a third, Lindsay, who's a bottom 6 prospect, for a third, Jason Bowen in a fourth, and Randy McKay. No, thank you. You signed Bowen way too long term. And he was with us last year too. So Forsberg and Meebus head to Calgary for 2 seconds. Okay, Calgary's loading up. Second and Lindsay for a third and a fourth. No thank you. That's just going to set us back more in terms of drafting. And there's a win over Germany. And Rycroft a third and a third for Coral. Yukin a third, okay. And we are at the deadline. So yeah, this episode's going to be a long episode because we're already running around 25 minutes, I think. And we still have to take a look at the trades that have happened and get the rest of the season simulated and check who we're playing against in the playoffs if we get there. So here's the trades. I'm not going to read them all out, but if you guys want to see any of them, here's what happened around the league. Doesn't look like any huge big names because a lot of the guys are retiring by now. And there you go. And obviously no signings and shit. Okay. So I don't think we're going to be making a trade because we are still contending for that playoff spot. And yeah, we are in a wildcard spot at the moment. Yeah, I think we are going to just still sim out the rest of the season. Yeah, because we made our trades early on. I don't think we necessarily need to acquire somebody for like Sergei Brylin or for Herdina. So yeah, let's just get the rest of the season done. We're going to go right to the middle of the month just so we can see how we are in terms of the standings. Because I don't want to go too fast and then all of a sudden we miss the playoffs. And so Russia has fired their head coach. Interesting. I thought they were kind of contending for a playoff spot, but I guess not. And we dropped 2 games, and we tie 1 game. Guys, don't lose a lot of games here. This is the most important month. There's a win over Finland and a tie with Germany. Yikes, we are kind of dropping the ball a bit, and we are now tied for that last wildcard spot with 69 points. Okay, my voice is trying to go on me, but we are, like, literally, look at this. 3 teams tied with 69 points for that last wildcard spot. And then there's actually 4 teams because of that, the Canucks in the Pacific. And we have only 12 games to go. So let's actually maybe make some line changes quickly. I know this episode's going to be long, but I apologize. And let's see, what can we do? That might not be that bad, but I think the top line is still better like this. What do we want to do? Vorobyev's got 18 points. That's not too bad. Herdina's got a decent amount of points. I don't know really if there's any line changes we want to do. I think this is probably good. Any minus defensive pairings, the second pairing might be minus. Wow, Nakara has a really good plus minus. No, not that. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll put Lynn back down to the top 6. He's on the power play line, so he'll still get points in ice time. And then we'll move Ruslan Soleil with Taze, and then Nakar and Hatcher can go back together again. Because the two of them have been, the best defensively, I think. And then, how's our goaltending situation doing? Nabokov's only got 1 shutout, which is not good. Okay. Yeah, so our goaltending situation is kind of interesting because Nabokov only has 1 shutout, which he shouldn't be because he's an 89 overall, but he's not simulating like one. So anyways, let's go right till the end of this month. This team is fighting for a playoff chance. We need those 2 wins over Detroit if possible, please. Because we're getting right down to the stretch. Yeah, we got 7 games. There's a loss against Flyers. Come on, guys. Tie. At least it's a point, but we need more than a point. There's a win over Pittsburgh. A loss to Detroit, goddammit. And another loss to Detroit. That is going to probably blow our chances up, and we lose to Calgary. Yeah, that 3-game losing streak, I think, is going to make it so we miss the playoffs somehow. Like, we got 6 more games. So we could get a possible 12 more points. So we're technically still in the hunt, but the Red Wings, we could technically get that second wildcard spot if we win a lot of games and the Kings and the Eagles lose. But I don't know why this team is simulating so bad. We might need to find a new coach or something. Because even with the chemistry, it doesn't seem like we're simulating well. Okay, let's go a couple games at a time. 2 games here, Vancouver and San Jose. Please give me some wins, team. There you go. There's a win over them and a tie there. So we're at 75 points. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to make it. Toronto is 4-3 overtime win. That's a big OT goal, whoever scored it. And we have 77 points. We got 3 games left, which is possible 6 more points. A possible 6 more points means we could get 83 max. So we need the Blues and we need the Kings to lose games. If the Blues and the Kings can lose some games, we can make it, but otherwise I don't think we're going to make it. So we need to win every game pretty much at this point. Game against Chicago. And Sador's been injured. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Not the time, EA. Not the time for injuries. That's our top line player. Yeah, I don't get why this team is simulating bad. I think it's the goaltending. We might have to make some goaltending changes in the offseason. I like to keep this team the same because I like the team roster, and except for the goaltending pretty much. So we will put in, who was it that we just put in? Oh yeah, it was Martinson. Oh, this team. And we win that game. Okay, that's good. Game against Germany, this one is crucial, I think. Yeah, the Eagles are just above us, but did those teams clinch playoff spots? The Blues did, and the Kings have yet to. So the Kings are only a bit above us, so this is a crucial last 2 games, and hopefully the Kings lose their games. Because if that happens, then we could make the playoffs still. Game against Germany. A 0-0 tie? What the hell? That is a really weird game. But I'll take it. It's a shutout for both goalies. But the Eagles are now in that last wildcard spot with that game that we just had. And the Kings are out of the playoffs at this moment. And we're just barely out. So if we win this game, the Eagles lose their game, and the Kings lose their game, we make it. So it's all reliant on those 2 teams losing their game and us winning. Or at least getting a point, I think, maybe even. Come on, boys. Beat the Jets, beat the Jets. And we lose 5-3, and we miss the playoffs. This team has really, really been bad as of late. Goddamn. So we missed the playoffs for the first year in this franchise mode, I think, or the first year in quite a long time. This really blows. This team was definitely a lot better than previous years, but it just could not simulate well because of this division. And Germany ended up making it with 83 points. We are 3 points back of that playoff spot. I think it's Nabokov's fault, honestly. I'll take a look at the stats afterwards, but our coach, we might want to replace our head coach. Like, he's pretty good, and we do have a good scheme fit, I think. Yeah, 68% scheme fit. However, the last few years, he's really dropped the ball. Because, like, literally, like, this is how our franchise mode has gone so far. We started really, like 44%. Yeah, we had 2 really bad seasons. Then all of a sudden, we come here with a big season. That's when we won the Stanley Cup, I'm pretty sure. And then we've had some other good years. And then all of a sudden, it's just like the last few years, ever since 25, 26, we've been playing right around 500 every single season. Yikes. And then in the playoffs, he's been actually pretty good as a coach, but actually around 500. So yeah, maybe we want to find a new coach. This guy's probably getting close to retirement anyways. We might need to find a new head coach in the off season. So yeah, I'm going to definitely probably have to do that. Let's do a quick season wrap-up, and then we will sim to the awards, and then that'll be it for this episode. Or actually, maybe the awards will be next episode. Yeah, the awards will be next episode because it's going to take way too long if I do that. But I will show you guys like the playoff tree and stuff like that for fun. So here is our points. So Wong, 71 points after having 100 points last year. Sanderson, 69 points in his first season here, 40 goals, so pretty good acquisition. Medano had 45 goals on the second line, but he was also on the first line power play. Sador, 64 points. Drake, 50 points, 5 goals, 45 assists. But yeah, he had a pretty good third season. Yeah, he's up to 94 career points already. Good job, Drake. Lundell, 48 points. Lundell's under-simulating in terms of points, but he's really good defensively, so I'll still keep him around. Breland, 40 points, and he's a -4, so he did pick that up a bit. Hardina, 34 points, -2. Howes was a -13. And he had 103 penalty minutes. So maybe it was the fourth line that was really bad after the trade deadline. Yeah, it was the fourth line because McCauley also -17, which is not good, and Wells -17. So our fourth line kind of dropped the ball, and maybe that's why we missed the playoffs. Martinson had 4 points in 8 games as a depth guy, which is pretty good. Defensively, Lindback, 31 points in his second season. He's been a pretty good defenseman. 66 points in 161 games, and he doesn't even get paid that much. Like, he's getting paid 5.3. So he's a pretty good defenseman to have. Hatcher, 27 points, +16. Celea, +8 and 21 points in 49 games. Great acquisition, but it didn't help us out enough. Adam Burt, 19 points this season with us in Toronto. 8 points in 49 games for us, +4. Stan Nakar, 11 points and a +22. Taze, 6 points, -4. And Galanov was a -12 in 33. Hentonen had 3 points in 22 games and was an even 0. Goaltending-wise, Nabokov had a pretty good record and 2 shutouts, but like that save percentage and goals against isn't the greatest. And then Simic really dropped the ball as a backup, so we definitely need to figure out a new goalie strategy, I think, going forward. In terms of the entire league, because this episode's literally running at almost 40 minutes. I don't even know how it's that long. Rod Brindamore led the league in points, and it was Rod Brindamore who led in goals. Best plus-minus was Darren Shannon. Most penalty minutes was Jason Bowen with 292. Jeez. Best defenseman for points this season, Scott Niedermayer with 82 points. Okay. Best goalie this season for wins was Reginald Gostad of the Quebec Nordiques, followed by Brodeur. Most shutouts this season was Chris Mason with Calgary. Best save percentage was, for a starter, was Martin Biron. Best goals against by a starter was Mika Kiprusoff, okay? And any goalie goals, or there's goalie assists, 5 assists for Dominic Roussel, and no goalie goals. Rookie points, 59 points for Radulov, 53 for Brizgalov, and 47 for Kopstalls. Okay, well, let's take a quick look at the playoff tree, because literally this episode is almost 40 minutes, and I don't know how it's that long. And literally this episode has been super long. It's probably because I'm tired and I'm not noticing. So this is the playoff tree in case you guys want to know for next episode. You can make your predictions, I guess. Sweden and Germany, Calgary and Edmonton, Toronto and Detroit, Winnipeg and St. Louis, and then in the East, New Jersey, Montreal, Florida and Finland, Quebec and Pittsburgh, and Buffalo and Boston. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Dallas Stars franchise mode. So in next episode, we will take it to the off season with our lottery pick, and hopefully we can get somebody good that could turn around this team, because we've just been really bad the last few seasons. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time.